Welcome to the next episode of the PaddyCast. We're lucky to have with us on this episode a boxing legend, multiple weight world champion, Nonito Donaire. How are you, Nonito?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having me, man. This is fun.
Brilliant. How are you getting on with the coronavirus situation?
I mean, I'm not a person that goes out a lot, so I'm just pretty much this is what I do. It's like I'm in quarantine all the time, so I really don't have any problem with it, except that the kids are running all over the place. They're not going to school, so that's pretty much it.
Yeah, it's hard for us all across the world, but we'll just need to get through it. But so we're gonna talk about your sporting journey. So tell us, how did you start boxing, and how did you get to from your early beginnings to where you are today?
Well, I started when I was 10, 11 years old, and in amateurs. My brother did get into boxing before I did, about a year before I did, and I wanted to try it out, and somehow I was very passionate with what I did, and I wanted to make the people around me happy, so I wanted to win every single time.
Yeah.
And so I trained really hard. I trained really hard, harder than a lot of people, and then I got, every year I've won nationals, and then I turned pro. I was an alternate for the 2000 Olympics, and then I was only 17 then, and I didn't want to go. They said that it wasn't my time yet because I was, I didn't have any experience. It was my first year fighting open, and I was beating everybody.
Yeah.
But aside from that, that's how I got into professional. I didn't want to deal with the amateur bull crap. So
Yeah. So see when you say you were an alternate for the Olympic team, was that for the Philippines or the US?
For the U.S., it was for the U.S.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you regret not being given the chance to try and go to the Olympic Games?
No, there's no regret. It was a choice that I made that I wanted to do. That was my dream then, was to be an Olympian,
Yeah.
but it didn't happen. But I just kind of went and moved on, and yeah, I don't have any regret whatsoever. Do I think about it? I don't ever think about it. I'm really not the type of person to really look back. I just kind of like look forward and just get better as I go.
Well, when you say you don't really look back, but you do say you would have loved to be an Olympian. So obviously you didn't get to the Olympic Games in Sydney, but as a professional, you fought Vladimir Sidorenko from Ukraine, and he actually won the bronze at the Olympic Games that year. So that could have been you.
Well, it could have been. I didn't even put it together. But Sidorenko he was tailor made for my style.
Yeah.
You'll find guys who are just kind of made for your style and stuff like that. But yeah, I didn't put two and two together. The moment that I left the amateur, I just kind of shut it off and never kind of looked back. I just kind of went and created a new goal, which was to become a world champion. But yeah, before, when I got started in boxing, it was becoming an Olympian, and that's all I wanted to do was become an Olympian.
Yeah.
Or win some kind of medal, and then that was it. I was not gonna turn pro, and then all of a sudden I hated the amateur for all the politics and all that stuff, that I said I'm gonna make professional into something, make something much more than I did in the amateur.
Yeah.
So
And you've done just that. But obviously, you turned pro obviously quite young too, and you were saying you had aspirations to be a world champion, but you lost your second fight. How did that make you feel, and how did that did it hinder you in any way?
I wanted to stop then because I felt that I didn't really want to be here. You know, I didn't want to be here, but then I didn't want to quit. You know, I didn't want to quit. There was just, I know I was good at something, but I lost, and I felt like I could have done better if I trained harder. And I know that I wouldn't have lost if I was at my best. And so I said, you know what, I'm gonna try. I actually quit for about maybe a year or so, you know, and then got back into it, and you know, realized I got into working. You know, I started working and I didn't like people telling me what to do. So I said, forget this. I am gonna go, you know, give it 100% in boxing, and somehow I made it up. You know, I made it up here.
Yeah, and like you've had you know, a lot of fights, and you've fought multiple world champions. I think like, there's only a few Asians who like yourself have won multiple titles in different weights, the likes of Pacquiao. So you're definitely, you know yourself, you're going to be a future Hall of Famer. How does that kind of stuff make you feel? Because you still are active in the sport today, and actually your next fight is for a world title.
You know, I don't really look into all of that stuff. You know, I just kind of move forward to what I need to do, what my goals.
Yeah.
You know, for instance, you know, I feel that I'm getting better. You know, the last fight I actually felt like it brought a lot out of me in terms of what I need to do, what I see that I need to do. You know, and I think that I'm going to get better from this point on. I don't know how, but I think I know I'm going to get better from this point on. That's what I feel. I'm going into the gym harder than when I started professional.
Like, I've always been a fan of yours. I watched your early career. I'll be honest, I thought that when you fought Inoue that you were done because of your age. I thought that was it. But then your performance, it really gave me an opener. For me, it was unreal. So it's obvious that you have a lot more to give. And I think, you know, maybe your past defeats, like the Frampton fight, you know, that was a featherweight. You're moving back down to your natural weight, where you're more explosive, you're as strong as your opponent. So do you think bantamweight will definitely suit you going forward?
I've always been this weight class. It's just that I've always just kind of moved up.
Yeah.
You know, I've always been able to make this division, and I felt really strong in this division. But I felt that the thing that I'm looking for to bring out the best of me wasn't in this division. So I've always reached for a bigger division to bring me out. You know, but you know what? I came to realize that it was in this division that brought me out, and I feel that I'm gonna come out harder than before, you know, and stronger than before. You know, I've always been healthy. I've always taken care of my body. I've always just been doing things that get me to a different level, you know. But I can honestly say that I feel really strong right now. I feel really strong mentally, really strong because of what had happened. You know, the fire in me. It's like the second fight when I lost my fight. I didn't want to give up, even though I didn't feel like I wanted to train. But then I wanted to do much more. You know, I felt that I'm much better than that. And every defeat has always brought me stronger or a bigger realization that there is so much more behind me or within me, and especially that last fight, just I think he just brought out another lifeline for me.
Yeah, like as I said before, you've fought a serious amount of fights. So who would you say probably would be the biggest puncher that you've fought?
I mean, in the bigger division, you know, the only guy that really stopped me was the Walter. You know, I mean, granted, he had got me in the back of the head, but that was the very first time that I lost a couple seconds of my life. you know. But I got back out there. I'm like, I'm back. God damn it! Why are you counting to 6? It's like you don't start 1. You know, you don't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't go 6, 7, 8. I'm like, wait. What happened to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? You know. But that's pretty much what happened in that fight. I would say Inoue and Darchinyan were similar in power. You know, those guys had heavy hand, and yeah, they were similar in power. I would say if I had to compare Inoue or Darchinyan, I would say those guys were on the same category.
Yeah, it's interesting a lot because people talk about Inoue being the monster that he is, but obviously he has great power, but also he's very, very skillful as well. Did you see how skillful he was? And were you aware of that in the fight?
I saw how versatile he was. You know, he's very skillful, very versatile. Similar to how I fought in the past. You know, I can move, I got power. You know, he was the same way. You know, very versatile, great speed. Had a lot of good power as well. Combination, very smart. But one thing that really surprised me overall was how tough he was. You know, I've hit him hard, and a lot of people go down.
Yeah.
You know, so and he stood up. He got hurt. He stood up. He tried to do everything that he can, and he came back. You know, he came back and that, yeah, I was very surprised how tough he was. I would love another crack of that fight, another time. I would love to see another fight with me and him.
When your next fight, go a game with him. I would love.
That's the plan. That's the plan. Get the belt and let's put the belt together.
100%. You've also fought one of my favorite boxers, Beyond Do. Pretty much, you could say in his peak because he was flying when he fought you. You know, he was very, very good. What was the experience like? Obviously, you fought so many good world champions, but he was a different kind of fighter. Hard to find his kind of style compared to everyone else's.
I think, you know, he was very slick. Very, very defensive, you know, and for me, I played a wrong game plan going into that fight. You know, I was just trying to go for one punch, thinking that, you know what, he has no chin. Maybe one punch will make it happen, but it never landed, you know, enough to take him out. No, I have to say that he was very. All the people that I fought, I would say he's the slickest of them all. You know, very slick. He knew what he had a great premonition on what move his opponent did or what move I made. You know, he was very skillful when it comes down to it.
What would you say would be the lowest moment in your career?
Lowest moment? Man, I'm a very happy person.
Yeah.
You know, usually I'm a very, very happy person. I would say I have no freaking clue, man. You know, I'm thinking about it.
You know, not maybe even,
you know, in my career.
Yeah. Even like an amateur setback, you know, not being selected for the Sydney Games.
I would say in boxing, I would say, you know, the very first heartache was losing in the finals for the Olympic trials. You know, it hurt me a lot because that was the first time I thought I won the fight.
Yeah.
You know, and it was the first time that politics in the adult world really hit me.
Yeah.
You know, that there are much more, there's favoritism, there's this and this and that. And my biggest goal in life was to be an Olympian, to win titles, to win medals, you know, and you know, it brought me to who I am, I guess, is what I would have to say. But that's why but I would say when I broke my hand, there you go. When I broke my hand for a butt, I kept, that was the worst freaking thing, man. Breaking your hands, and it just keeps coming back, and you couldn't fight, you couldn't train, you couldn't do anything. That was the lowest part of me
Yeah.
in my career, because it just never stopped. I don't know how and why. It was about maybe 2 or 3 years that I just keep going on and off, and I would fight with it, and that's why there's fights in my career that I just could knock guys out because I break my hands, you know. So I think that was it. It was you know, I wanted to knock people out. And when I don't get knocked out, I get really sad.
So I would assume this will be a very hard question for you because you've got so much kids. What would be the best moment of your career or your greatest achievement?
Oh, hold on, Patty, because my audio is messed up here. How do you fix this audio?
There you go.
Talk, Patty.
Hear me now?
Can you give me the headset? Okay, I'm gonna get the headset because the audio speaker. Go ahead, say it again. I can hear you a little bit.
So what would you say would be the biggest moment of your career, your greatest achievement?
Oh, greatest achievement, man! You can't forget your very first title. For me, that was the biggest thing for me, was winning my first title against Darchinyan.
Yeah.
Of everything for me, because it started me off, for all. As a fighter, when you start boxing or when you start to turn pro, that was one of the goals that you really want to acquire, and I tell you, man, it just, you can't forget about that stuff. It's just, at that time, that was the highest point of my life.
Yeah. It's crazy. So obviously you've been in the game for a very long time. How do you feel like are you able to mix your sporting life with your personal life?
Well, it helps. My wife has been very, very tremendous in supporting me,
Yeah.
in everything that I do. I'm not the type of person that just goes out into training camp and disappear. I just always just had my kids, my wife with me all the time. So, but because she's always helped me out, I wanted to make it as normal as possible, in my daily life, so that when I go in there, it's a normal thing for me. But I have to say that my wife is just one of the person, or who's made it easy for me to make things happen for me.
Yeah. So what I've already said what's next, but Nordini Bali, WBC title. Are you excited for that?
I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
We're friends, with their team and everybody.
Yeah.
But this is a business, and I'm very excited because I'm looking forward to something much more than just that, and I'm bringing everything out, coming to that fight.
Yeah. Nordino Bali actually was an old amateur rival of myself. He beat me 3 times. So even though he's a part of my old stable, I have to cheer on Nonito Donaire.
Yeah. I'll get them for you, Patty. I'll get them for you, okay? Like, this is for Patty.
You tell me, I'm going to do like a. Actually, tell me this. How did you feel and how did you find fighting Carl Frampton?
With Carl, I mean, me and Carl, we're great friends now. I always back him up. He's a great guy. But when what is it, 2 years now since the last, yeah, since that fight? That's crazy. 2 years. That's time goes too fast, man. When I fought Carl, it was it was fun. It was a fun fight. That's all I have to say about that. It was a really fun fight for me, and it was the biggest experience for me that I got from it, to experience Ireland. And Ireland, I just love Ireland.
So Belfast has been just tremendous for me, and man, Belfast, it was a win-win for me, even though I didn't get the decision
Yeah.
against Carl. But I had a great friend that came out of it. I had a few great friends that came out of it as well in Belfast,
Yeah.
and all the people in Belfast. I mean, I felt like I'd love to visit again. It was a win-win for me. I really enjoyed being in Belfast.
Yeah, people in Belfast are massive boxing fans, so obviously having the likes of yourself coming over and fight one of our own, everyone obviously respects you, and we're all now, I think we all were before, massive fans. But I actually remember Carl Frampton, he's a very good friend of mine, but early on in his professional career, maybe he could have been still amateur, I can't remember, but you had on Twitter a picture of your house. Now, I'll never forget this. You may or may not remember this, but he tweeted you and said, "Oh, that's a crack class house. I would love one of them one day." And you replied to him saying that, uh, "Look after yourself, bro, and things will work out for you," or something. I can't remember, but he basically said that if he looked after himself and does everything right, then he too could have that. And
Yeah, I remember when it was the guys from the UK, they came in and did some interview, and I remember Carl tweeted about it, or met and yeah, I remember that, but that yeah.
no,
Hey man, it's
he's
it's, it's
obviously.
crazy how time goes.
So we're going to go now to a quick fire round. So a few questions, right?
All
Uh,
right.
a quick fire round. A quick fire round. Okay.
Sure, whatever you say.
So listen, first question. If you could choose a different sport, what would it be?
If I was tall, it would be basketball.
Basketball.
I'm Filipino. We love basketball.
That's right. You're only the same size as me.
Yeah, that's exactly. But if I was tall, it would be basketball.
Who would you say is your greatest rival?
Myself.
Yeah, man.
There's no one else that can beat me but me. That's pretty much what it all comes down to.
Do you have any pre-fight superstitions?
No, I do. I pray. I pray. I just pretty much pray for the best of thing. But I don't really believe in so much superstition. I just do my prayers just to say thank you for being here, and just gratitude prayer. That's it. Gratitude prayer, and just allow me to be the person that I am, of all the things that I work in the gym when I'm inside that ring. So that's pretty much what I do. That's every fight. I just pray to be at the best of what I give in the gym.
Do you have a favorite quote or motto?
I have a lot of those quotes. Sure, I can't even think of it now, but I do have a lot of quotes that I love. But I can't think of it right now.
Well, tell me, who would you say is your favorite sports person?
Favorite sports person. What's my favorite sports person? I'm not a sports guy. That's fucking crazy.
Just say me then.
Yeah, okay, it's Patty. Let's go. Let's do it. Yes. It's crazy because as much as I'm in sports, but I don't really watch sports. I don't even watch TV. I'm like a freaking nerd. I read lots of books. You know, I don't do nothing. But I just hang out with my family, friends, or my kids. I
Yeah.
don't watch anything. I'm freaking boring.
No.
All right, Patty. I'll have to say it's you. Okay.
Okay, fair enough. Listen, fair enough. Tell me this. Obviously, the world is on lockdown at the minute with the coronavirus. Have you got a message to any of your fans, especially your fans in Belfast, about dealing with the situation?
Well, first, and I think, and I believe in this, is that our body is capable of a lot of healing, when we take care of it. Natural healing, natural ability. We're constantly healing ourselves. So I tell people out there to be healthy, to exercise, be healthy, eat the right food, so that you create a lot of immunity for yourself, and of course, be responsible in taking care of yourself, and in doing what you're supposed to do. But I think that it starts within our body to create the proper immunity to fight anything. And I believe in the gift that God has given us in our body, in creating that power that's within us. So go out there, create immunity for yourself, eat healthy, and exercise. And do your job by keeping yourself safe.
Yeah. Well, this is Nonito. Thanks very much for taking part in my PaddyCast. It's great to have such a boxing legend as yourself on the show. And thank you very much. And good luck in your next fight. And make sure you beat him, because you beat me 3 times.
Yeah, I'll beat him for you. Okay, I'm gonna do it for you, Patty. It's for you, man. I appreciate you for having me, brother, and to the people out there, to Belfast and all the fans that's watching this. Support Patty in his podcast. But most of all, be safe out there. Eat healthy, be smart, be exercise, and just create the best of your body. That's your only vehicle that you can last forever, or that you have. So do the best for yourself, and help each other out. And again, thank you guys for having. Thank Patty. Thank you for having me, and thank you for supporting me. To all the people out there, you guys have a wonderful, and safe time out there.
Thank you. Thank you, Nito.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, mate.